been doing this for, say, 20 years, thereabouts, give or take a few months. I've been with John since, say, 2019, going out and about and trying to find things like this. He's done it a few times. I haven't. This is my first time doing all this. These sort of coins, well, they're there, you just have a look at them. They don't come up often. You'd be very blessed if you find one, never mind a few of them. And like I say, we were in that field, and I found one, and then it just escalated from there, like, because we kept going back, and the next thing was a load of them, and then we kept going back, picking up strays every couple of weeks or whatever it was, and ended up with that many, and different kings, and like Alison said, different kings, and I was going to say queens then, queens, but yeah, well, it's like it's a find of a lifetime.
Now I understand you've had other finds over
the
years.
Yeah, nothing like that. Like I said, I've had Roman brooches, all right, the bust, the knackered, well, hammered coins and Tudor coins, and if you want to call them that, and Stuart coins, and I've had a Tealby coin, like the likes of them sort of things. They like hen's teeth. You just don't find them, and when you do, well, it's like winning the lottery.
What drives you to go out with the metal detector? What drives that passion?
I don't know. It's like I said. It's a bug. Once it gets in you, you just can't get rid of it. And you go out and try and find things, and all right, 99% of the time you go out and you find junk, which you do. Tin cans, oh, they're good. And like I said, lead bullets and toasted coins and things. But when the likes of them come up, it's like I said, it's like winning the lottery.
And I think my last question is, how beneficial is it, when you find these kinds of things? I mean, we're in the year 2024, and you're still finding and picking up these things from hundreds of years ago. How does it, what does it show about the historical and the background, kind of the history behind it?
I don't really know, because it's like whoever put them in the ground, I don't know what he was doing at the time, or why did he put them in that field. And then 1,000 years later, me and John come along and find them, and you're thinking, we're the first people to find them coins or touch them coins in 1,000 years. And you think, what was he like? Was he like him there? And I don't know, it just goes through your head, and it's mad. It's mad.
My name is Alison Fox, and I'm curator of archaeology for Manx National Heritage. We've had quite a number of Viking Age silver treasure finds before from the island, but every hoard or every find just adds to the picture of what was happening in the Isle of Man 1,000 years ago. We often think of the Viking Age as quite rough and quite tough and quite brutal, and there certainly were periods like that, but what we know now from finds like this on the Isle of Man was that it was a very concentrated trading and economic time as well. So the Isle of Man was this key trading post, this key financial centre, really, in the middle of the Viking Empire. We have the map of the Viking Empire here in the Viking Gallery of the Manx Museum, and you can see the Isle of Man, like, we're right in the middle. You can see the extent of the Viking Empire going right across the Atlantic, going right into Europe and further east as well. So you've got these people that were travelling all around this place, that were trading, and there was a lot of trade and a lot of economy going on in the Isle of Man in this period. We weren't just a little island that was tucked away and out of touch with everything. We were right in the middle. We were pretty important, I think.
I think my last question would be, what does it say that we're finding, that we're having these finds, but you can see that there's minimal damage on them. You can still see, the intricacies on each coin.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of factors that come into play with that. A lot of it is the burial conditions in the first place. So, for example, if silver is buried in a lead container, it tends to be preserved much better. than if it was just buried in a wooden box or on its own. Ground conditions play a big part as well, the chemical composition of the soil. It's also a lot on the aftercare of the coins once they're out of the ground. So these coins came out of the ground, they had a layer of mud on them, and you couldn't really see the detail. And what was really important with John and Dave finding them was they didn't take the mud off the coins. They resisted the temptation, and then when the coins came into the museum, we were able to look at the coins and remove the mud just to make sure there wasn't any information caught up in that.
Anything else you want to add or say?
I think just finally, thank you ever so much to all the find owners, to all the finders, to John and Dave in this particular instance, but all the landowners as well, you know, who help us out whenever these finds like this are made. It's a really great community, and there's so much interest on the Isle of Man, and it's great to see.